In this training video, we're going to show you how the Califia program organizes its files. So you can see here we're on the opening screen. I'm going to click over here. We'll go over this in another video, but we're going to hit the configure button. And you can see various tabs, but we're going to go over to the work directory. And you can see that I've got this under C drive and under my desktop, which is where yours will be when you get your computer and Califia system delivered. If you want to change that, you can, but what Califia is looking for, it's looking for your scenario file under the desktop. But before it does that, it's looking under the desktop, but it's looking for a folder called simulator files. And when it finds simulator files, it's looking for another folder called scenarios, which is where your scenarios are going to be. So it has to be in that order. It has to be looking for you have to show it where to go, and it has to be, it's looking for simulator files and then a subdirectory under that called scenarios. You can see that under simulator files, you've got the cannula, drugs, lab reports, media, tags, and these are where all those types of data is stored. So for example, here's your media files we have in this one. Lab reports we've already made up. You can see. Let's go back to that. Get out of there. So we don't need to open that folder because we have everything we need. Now let's take a look at the system we have. We're going to get out of Califia here and open up just your browser. We're going to go to the desktop, simulator files, and scenarios. So right now, once it finds scenarios, you can put your scenarios wherever you like, as long as you can find them, but it needs to be under this folder. So what I've done is divide those into 3 sections. One is CPB, one is ECMO, and I put the standardized patients in another folder. And these are just some informational sorts of things that will help you in some of the vent settings. In any event, when you have CPB, we're going to have one here that's called high metabolic rate. And you can see I made some changes, but what happens is that there's original file, and every time I make a change to this scenario file, it creates another copy of it. So every time I do that, it creates another copy of it. Now if I want to get rid of those, basically I just need to erase this one, and then change my most recent one down here, remove the timestamp, if that's acceptable for you. Otherwise you can go back and find something that you, if you made a mistake, and then we'll take all these away. Okay. Now the important part is that it's always kept under one folder. It doesn't mean so much in cardiopulmonary bypass because we don't have a ventilator file. But let's go on to ECMO. And I put VA and VV together in that, under that. Let's empty here. Didn't put it in there yet. Let's see. We're going to standardize patients. We'll see the VA ECMO. So you can see we got a folder for each of our standardized patients. Now in that folder, we have what's called a ventilator file, because in the ECMO programs we have a ventilator in there. So what it's doing is once you pull up this scenario file, it's going to look for a ventilator file that's in that same folder. So that's what's important, that you put that ventilator, there is a ventilator file in that folder. It's pretty easy to move those around and change them. You can see it's just a text editor, and if you want to say make a new scenario, you can copy one of these, any of them, into your folder that you're using, and then make changes to your vent settings. And those are the settings that will come up when you initiate the program. The other thing I sometimes do is I put any kind of documents in here that I might need, some like descriptions, maybe like a script to explain to you how this how the scenario is going to run, But that's pretty much it. As long as you have your scenarios under the folder scenario files and scenarios, you'll be good. Thank you.